Hey guys, this is Sebastian bringing you a pre-session warm-up video for RakebackDollars.com. The big question I get a lot of time is why we warm up, and to me it's pretty simple. I preach this all the time. Just like a professional athlete, you don't expect a professional sprinter to just hop on the track and to run the 100-yard dash or something like that without doing a significant warm up and stretching. And I think poker is exactly the same thing where we need to warm up our brain. A lot of guys I speak with, they talk about how it takes them 15 or 20 minutes to get into the groove of their session, and I feel by doing the warm up that it can eliminate that 15 or 20-minute period at the beginning of the session and put us in the right mindset. Also, some people, they may never even get into the right mindset, especially if they start off poorly. I think that the edges in the games now, especially at the small and mid stakes and with all games, the edges are very small, and that I think that a lot of the players, when they're playing their A game, the games would be very the games would be very almost EV neutral. If every regular was playing their best game, obviously some players are a little bit better than other players, but I think a big difference is that the more you can play your A game and play your best, that's going to be able to separate you from the competition. And again, you have two players who have the same skill set. One guy is playing his A game 90% of the time, another guy is only playing his A game 70% of the time. Even though they have the same skill set, the guy who's playing his A game 90% of the time is going to have a lot more success than the player only playing his A game 70% of the time. So why we warm up? Obviously, to put ourselves in the right mindset for success and to eliminate outside distractions and create focus for our session at hand. How we warm up. First, I want to thank Jared Tendler. I've worked with him pretty extensively, not recently, but in the past, to help me develop my warm up, and I think that that's really helped me to become focused and to play better at the tables. This is kind of in the format that he lays out, but again, every person's warm up is different and it's individual to each person. But typically, I review my A game, the things that I'm doing when I'm playing my A game. I review my C game, things I'm doing with my C game, and then I go over my A game once more to reinforce that A game mindset before I start my session. Again, the reason we do this is we review our A game in order to really be able to recognize and put right in the forefront of our minds what we're doing when we're playing our A game so we can recognize that. And similarly with our C game, if we go and review what we're doing with our C game during the session, if we see some things that we're doing during the session that are our C game, hopefully this will allow us to be able to recognize that more quickly and to be able to make the adjustment more quickly. A couple caveats before I start the video. A few of the things I talk about in regards to statistics, as far as barreling frequencies and three betting. Those are things that I just like to keep at the forefront of my mind. Again, every session is different. Some sessions it might be proper to barrel 30%. Some sessions it may be proper to barrel 80% in any given hand. I just use a number, I review certain stats, again, just to keep them at the forefront of my mind, because I want to know about the ballpark figure that I'm in. So again, it's not a hard set number for those things. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to basically just go over my warm up and how I warm up to give you guys an idea of how I do it. And again, this is very individualized and very personal, so everybody's warm up is going to be different and everybody struggles and has strengths in different areas. For me, again, I'm a Reiki practitioner, so I believe in a lot of the energy movement and stuff like that. So I typically do Reiki on myself while I'm doing the warm up and stuff too. But again, that's not really as important, especially if you're not into that sort of thing or into meditation or that sort of thing. So the first thing I do for my warm up is I close my eyes and I take 10 deep breaths. This allows me to calm down, focus, and just, be a little bit patient, push a little bit of the stuff that's worrying me from the everyday out of my mind, and helps to give me a fresh mindset about what I want to try to accomplish during the session. So here we go. I'm clear, I'm calm, I'm patient, I'm focused. I'm going to make the best possible decision with every hand that I play with the information that I have. I'm going to make a read, create a game plan, and make sure my bet sizing's in accordance with that game plan. I'm going to be barreling 60, 60, 60, three betting 5 to 7%, stealing 40 to 50%. I understand my opponents, I understand how they perceive me, and I understand what they're trying to do, and I'm going to take the most profitable exploitive strategy against them. I know what they want me to do, and I do the opposite. When they show weakness, I pounce. I'm playing good, aggressive, proactive poker from in position, allowing my opponents to make the mistakes. At the same time, it's better to make a tight fold too early as opposed to a marginal call too late. I'm not afraid to be creative. When I have a specific read on my opponent, I'm going to use that read to make the most optimal profitable play. Whether that's making a big call, a tight fold, a bluff raise, or a thin value bet. I'm able to recognize when I bet small for thin value and when I can bet big for big value. I'm able to recognize when I'm playing my A game and when I'm not. When I'm not, I either readjust or I take a break. Specifically, what are the things that I'm doing when I'm playing my A game? I'm sitting straight up in my chair. I have my feet flat on the ground. I have no tension in my head, face, shoulders, or anywhere else in my body. I have a good energy flow from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. I'm calm, I'm patient, I'm focused, I'm allowing the action to come to me, playing good, tight, aggressive, proactive poker from position, allowing my opponents to make mistakes. I understand my opponents, I understand how they perceive me, and I understand what they're trying to do. I don't think, I know. The action feels like it's moving slow and I'm taking my time because I'm the one who's dictating the pace. The result doesn't matter, making the right play is all that matters. From there, again, I take 3 deep breaths again, and I just reaffirm what I'm trying to do, which is my objective is to play well and win money. And I repeat that 3 times. From there, I move on to my C game and what I'm doing when I'm playing my C game. I'm being results oriented, which leads to tilt, which leads to autopilot. I make a read and I deviate, or I don't have a read at all. I have a game plan and I deviate, or I don't have a game plan at all. Or worse yet, my game plan is based on a faulty read and I'm unable to recognize that. Maybe that's trying to make a big play based off of a HUD stat. Maybe that's trying to make a big play based off of a limited read. Or worse yet, trying to make a big play based off of no read at all. Specifically, what are the things I'm able to recognize when I'm playing my C game? I'm either slouching in my chair or sitting on the edge of my chair. I have tension in my head, face, neck, or shoulders, with not a good energy flow from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. Maybe I'm tilting and unable to recognize it. Some of the ways I'm able to recognize I'm tilting is a rise in body temperature. Possibly I'm thinking about a hand that I played a few hands ago and not focusing on the current action. Or maybe I'm just not sure if I should be playing or if I'm playing my best, and I try to push through and continue to make mistakes. Maybe I'm anxious. Maybe that has to do with the fact because I'm winning and I'm worried about locking in the profit. Maybe it's because I'm losing, or maybe it has nothing to do with poker at all. Specifically, a lot of the time the action feels like it's moving very quickly and I have trouble keeping up. This leads to static C game poker where I'm playing my cards one street at a time as opposed to executing a game plan based on the player, the table dynamic, and the board texture. I could be playing overconfident and playing spewy, or maybe I'm feeling underconfident and playing a little bit too passively. My reads are off, or I'm not trusting my reads. This leads me to calling, where I have no plan for later streets and my hand has very little chance of improving, or calling when no worse hand is betting. This leads to me betting when no worse hand is going to be calling me, or where I don't want to get raised off of my hand. This may be checking and missing value against a particular opponent, or checking where my hand has no showdown value and I think that my opponent's weak and there's a good chance that one more barrel will get the job done. Or this could be folding when my initial read was that my hand is good, but I'm unwilling to make the big call. After that, I review my A game again, and I go through the same thing that I did just to start to reinforce my A game mindset. And then from there, I tell myself I'm clear, I'm calm, I'm patient, I'm focused, and my focus is on playing well. And basically, I do that warm up before every session before the first session of the day, I do the complete full warm up like that. And then typically, because I only take short breaks between my sessions, so a lot of the time I'll just review my A game mindset. I'll take 10 deep breaths, I'll review my A game mindset, and just put that again in the forefront of my mind. If I take a real long break or I feel like I'm not focused, I will do the full warm up again. One thing that you probably notice is there's a couple spots where I repeat some very similar things. I do that for a reason because, again, I find those things to be very important and that, those are on the top of my priority list. Again, the warm up is very tailored towards me. There's no right or wrong way, but I think it's very important, especially if you want to have your best results at the table and give yourself the best chance of success to have a warm up before you play. That's going to do it for this video. As always, if you have any comments, feel free to let me know. This is Sebastian signing off for RakebackDollars.com.